As soon as my friends and I heard about the abandoned hospital on the outskirts of town, we knew we had to explore it. We were thrilled, seekers, always looking for our next adventure, and the thought of investigating a place that had been left untouched for years was too exciting to pass up. As we approached the hospital, we couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The building was massive and foreboding, with cracked windows and overgrown ivy snaking up the walls. We parked our car and made our way inside, using a crowbar to pry open the rusted doors. The inside of the hospital was just as eerie as the outside. The air was musty and damp, and the only sounds were the creaking of floorboards and the rustling of our footsteps. We explored the ground floor first, poking around in abandoned patient rooms and peering into the long, empty operating theater. As we made our way up to the upper floors, things started to feel even more ominous. The walls were covered in peeling paint and graffiti, and the air grew colder and more oppressive with each step. We stumbled upon a room that had clearly been used for experimental treatments, with rusty restraints and a gruesome-looking operating table. Suddenly, we heard a sound coming from the end of the hallway. It sounded like footsteps, slow and deliberate. We froze, unsure of what to do. But before we could make a run for it, a figure stepped out of the shadows. It was a woman dressed in ragged clothes and with wild hair. She looked at us with wild, terrified eyes and started to scream. We tried to calm her down, but she just kept repeating the same phrase over and over again. "Don't go up there! Don't go up there! Don't go up there!" We didn't know what she was talking about, but we had a sinking feeling that we were about to find out. We followed her to the top floor of the hospital, where we found something that made our blood run cold. There was a door at the end of the hallway that we hadn't noticed before. It was barricaded shut with old hospital beds and metal lockers. But as we approached, we heard a strange noise coming from behind it. It sounded like scratching and clawing, as if something was trying to get out. We hesitated, but our curiosity got the better of us. We pried open the door, and what we found inside was beyond anything we could have imagined. The room was full of makeshift cages, and inside each one was a different creature. Some were human, but they had been mutated beyond recognition. Others were something entirely different, with glowing eyes and scaly skin. They were all reaching out towards us, as if begging to be let out. We fled the hospital in terror, leaving the poor woman behind. But the memory of what we had seen that day haunted us for weeks afterwards. We had thought we were just exploring an abandoned building, but what we found was something much more sinister. The abandoned hospital was a place of horrors, and we were lucky to escape with our lives.